How's it going, everybody? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming. And originally, I planned on releasing this video on the 31st, but to make sure people have the opportunity to check out Indy Scream Park and get our thoughts on it while it's still relevant, we decided to go ahead and release this video today on the 17th. So let's go to the footage of everything that we did at the Scream Park, give you our reactions of all the attractions that we were able to go through, show you pictures and video of the Midway. Now, unfortunately, the Midway was not as prevalent with photo opportunities or video opportunities, and I'll give you that information at the end of the video here, the true end of the video, so I can give you my thoughts about it, this being my third haunt going to, and then I'll do like a fun little ranking of each one that I've been to so far since I've been going to haunts. So without any further ado, let's get started. You trying to hide? I'm keeping this in.
I'm not trying to hide.
How's it going, everybody? David Hedge here, and we have Owen and Krystal right here, and we are at the Indy Scream Park. We're getting ready to go in and see what there is to see and see how many of us stay out after this thing's done. So let's go. All right. Whoa, sassy right there. All right, so we just got done with the first two houses. These two went through blackout. What'd you think?
Good.
That sums it up pretty well.
It was great.
Environmentally, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You couldn't see absolutely anything unless some of the lights are going off, the steam vents, what have you. Some of the scares in there, they're pretty good. I only jumped at one personally. That's because it was right behind us. So, yeah. But the very ending, there was like a giant mutilated rat head, and that was some pretty good work on there.
And as long as it doesn't look like my cousin. Okay, so the other thing I am now recording, like I haven't done this for 5 years. So we went through the lockdown, and the one thing I did not expect for us to do was boogie down in one of the sections. I actually got grabbed, and I didn't have one of the necklaces, but you know what? It was a whole lot of fun. It reminded me of Blue Ridge Nightmares back in Roanoke. They're really doing a good job up here at Indy Scream Park. Blackout was fantastic. Apparently Krystal thought so. And now we're getting ready to go in to do shooting some zombies and see what else we can get into. Let's go. All right, so we just got done with the zombie paintball, which was a lot of fun. Apparently I'm zombie bait because I didn't go through all my bullets, which was fine. Owen and Krystal had a blast with that. They're currently going through the 3D clown exhibit. I'll take a picture of that so I can actually I can see it from here. Neon 3D. So they're going through that right now. We also went through Zombie Unchained, which was a blast. Apparently there is a black cat that lives up here that's part of the property. We can't interact with it, and I did get to see it through the zombie. I thought I saw a cat in there. But we're having a great time here. The actors are amazing, a lot of fun. There are comparisons with the Woods of Terror because the actors just really amazing and engaging. It's not as busy, thankfully, because if it was busy, I think it would have lost a lot of its charm being up here. But I'll get Krystal and Owen's the whole thing when they get out of the Neon 3D. But I will tell you this right now, this is a great place to come to during the haunting season. So you're going to be seeing this a little bit early because if you're in the Indiana area, please make sure to stop by the Indy Scream Park. I guarantee you this thing's going to be hopping, especially as we get closer and closer to the Halloween season. But let's see what else we can get into before the park closes here in about 30 minutes and see what other things I can do. Oh, by the way, so there is a clown that's up here. One of the clowns is named Icky. I'll include the picture right here. I never thought I'd have a conversation about who was the best Joker, and I'm glad I did. And it was probably one of the coolest interactions I've had up here the entire time. It was a whole lot of fun. So let's, he just got somebody. This is great. But let's get with Owen and Krystal after Neon 3D and see what they have in store. All right, so Krystal and Owen just came out of Neon 3D. Your thoughts?
Trippy.
Trippy, all right.
Very trippy.
Yeah.
Very trippy.
One pointed out a bald spot on my head that I didn't know I had, so that's fun.
And then I bumped into a scare actor.
The more we know. I'm glad I didn't go in there, because if I would have went in there, chances are I would have reenacted Raiders of the Lost Ark, because chances are I might have tipped over and I would have bowled over the mannequins and everything else that was in there. The person on the platform that pointed at his bald spot probably would have been going like the Wilhelm scream of "ah!" like just falling to the ground. But I did do a little bit of video earlier just saying about everything. The paintball, what did you two think about paintball?
I loved it.
I thought it was great.
So the group we were with, let me just set the stage for you real quick. The group we were with, we had one group on the side of us just doing the complete Hail Mary, empty out everything. We were the 3 precision peeps. But I was a novice. Owen was somewhat a sniper. And then you had the all-out rage of this one.
Don't let me around your kids.
Now, I'm glad I couldn't film on there, because I would have had to censor something for the first time on this channel. Because she was yelling everything like, "Die you!" Insert zombie thing here.
We also have paintballs for the fun.
We do have paintballs, which he offered to a zombie, by the way, which is the most
really nice.
insensitive daggum thing I've ever heard. But then also zombie. Woo! And then Zombie Unchained. What did you two think of that one?
Zombie Unchained, it was, well, so it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The atmosphere of it was pretty good. It started out like a junkyard almost, but it got towards the end. There was somebody who got so scared she literally ran right into me, and we had to like stop. Like, hey, you good? But other than that, I think that was great.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would do it again?
No.
No?
I did the jail one again. That one was my favorite.
So it looks like the only one we're not going to be able to do this time around is the backwoods, because they're getting ready to close here. But I will tell you this, if you are in the Indiana area, I'll be posting this video early to make sure. I was going to save this for Halloween. I can't do that because this should be shared. It's a whole lot of fun up here. The scare actors are amazing. The props and everything they have is top notch. And apparently there's a lot of stuff going behind us right now, so we may need to go check out and see what in the world's happening with that. But we're going to close it out here. We're going to get ready to head back home. I'm glad that I was able to do this with Owen and Krystal, and we'll definitely be doing this again next year. Different haunt, same crew. Maybe Cindy will join us. But thank you all so much for watching this video. We're going to go find out what the commotion is up at the front, and we will see you all next time. So until then, my friends, stay safe and take care. Krystal, hold up. Well, there you have it. That was the Indy Scream Park in Anderson, Indiana. And it's a fun time. We had a blast doing it. We didn't go through the backwoods, unfortunately, due to time constraints. But you know what? The rest of the places we've been through was fantastic. I did the Zombie Assault along with the Zombies Unchained and Prison Break. While Krystal and Owen, while my mind was rebooting, they went through Blackout and Neon 3D. So, my final thoughts on it. The haunt actors really enjoyed them. They did an amazing job. All the sets that we all went through combined really had a great difference of feel between each one. But at the same time, it also reminded me of Blue Ridge Nightmares back in Roanoke, Virginia when they were operating. Especially the Zombie Unchained, really heavily reminded me of Blue Ridge Nightmares with all the cars that they had set up and everything. And you're going through that first part leading into the main event of itself. The biggest thing that I could say is that there weren't as many scare actors as, say, Woods of Terror had last year. The scare actors that they did have at Indy Scream Park did a fantastic job. Loved talking to him. I didn't think I would be talking to one of the clowns discussing the best Joker to ever, best person to ever portray the Joker in movies or TV or in audio. So I had a blast doing that. But it just, It's a different atmosphere from like places like Woods of Terror. Now, is this a great beginner spot if you want to go into haunts? Absolutely. The scare actors in the midway, they did a fantastic job basically easing you into it. They still did their best to scare you, but at the same time, they took pictures with you, they talked to you, the ones that could talk, and they did a fantastic job. The carnival games did look a little bit like old, rundown carnival games. That's the way they were looking to go with it. That's fine. Like I think that actually what added the aesthetic to Indy Scream Park. But we went on the 15th, and there wasn't as many people out there, which I'm very glad of that, because if we would have went out there and it was a lot busier, we wouldn't have been able to get through a lot of the stuff that we did go through and that we did see during the event. But if I'm going to rate the three that I've been to so far, I'm going to start this every year because now it's a tradition. My number one is going to be Woods of Terror, 100%, because of the variety that they have that you can go through. Plus, the Monster Midway did keep you on your toes. You had a bunch of different actors uh, going in and out, so you had a good variety that you would encounter. Number two, sentimental value, Blue Ridge Nightmares, because that was the first. And that was one that got me into going to haunts. And I will always have a place for it in my heart. Uh, and plus, it's Roanoke, Virginia, my hometown. I have to show love for that. And plus, they're still carrying on the spirit, if you will, of Blue Ridge Nightmares through the Screamiverse Expo coming up in April. And I'll love to talk about that in a future video. And then third will be the Indy Scream Park, but it's out of those three, like the most fun I had just from interactions and everything. Um, Indy Scream Park definitely has it down. They did an amazing job. I just wish there had been more scare actors to interchange, because you do get to interact with like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, the Creeper, stuff like that, and a set of clowns that were continuously through, and one or two other actors. But I wish there was more variety throughout the entire time, because you had that, like from 7 to 10:30, you had that block of time, but you had just those actors, and I wish they would have had more variety to them. But that's the only nitpick I can say. The attractions that they have, they take at least 6 to 10 minutes to go through, but they're well worth it. You go through them again if you want to do that, so you could see any details you might have missed going through the first walkthrough. And it was a blast. And I want to thank Krystal and Owen uh, for showing me Indy Scream Park, because Krystal's the one that brought it up, and then going with me to this event. And hopefully Cindy will join us next year for one of these haunts. And hopefully she'll be able to be on here and give you her thoughts on her first haunt next year. But thank you all so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let everyone know that House Hedge Gaming is here for all of your gaming needs and some haunting needs during the spooky season. So make sure you check out Indy Scream Park. And until next time, my friends, stay safe and take care.